Hello, dear friends, all lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Long live Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Ahmadike, Biafra land. Long live United States of Biafra. Long live the good people of Biafra. My people, in this video, you will learn a lot. So do not be in a hurry. Tighten your seatbelts and watch this video. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share this video and also give us a thumbs up. Thank you and God bless you. Let's go.
Breaking news this morning, we are learning new details about the deadly strike operation that President Trump says he ordered on Islamic State terrorists in Nigeria. Listen to this. That, as you can see, released from the Department of Defense yesterday evening. The U.S. military reports multiple ISIS terrorists were killed in the attack, which the president first announced on social media. This comes after the president for months has warned that the United States could take military action in the African nation, claiming that ISIS had been targeting Christians in the region. The president writing in part this on social media about it: I have previously warned that these terrorists, that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay. And tonight, he goes on to say, the Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the United States is capable of doing. Now, Nigeria confirmed the two countries coordinated in this effort, in this strike. Their foreign minister joined CNN earlier this morning.
What took place yesterday clearly underscores the fact that Nigeria is not lacking in will and a commitment to the fight against terrorism.
CNN's Nada Bashir tracking this one for us. Nada, what is the very latest that you're picking up?
Well, we're still not getting full details just yet from U.S. officials with regards to the details surrounding this strike. What we do know is the U.S. Africa Command has said that multiple Islamic State targets and militants were killed overnight in these deadly strikes. We've heard, as you mentioned, from the U.S. president himself addressing this military action in social media, saying and describing this as a powerful and deadly strike against Islamic State terrorists. And this strike took place in the northern Sokoto region of Nigeria, just bordering Niger. Now, at this stage, again, no clear details with regards to the impact. What we do know is that this was carried out in coordination with the Nigerian government. We've heard from a Nigerian presidential spokesperson and advisor saying that both the US and Nigeria are on the same page when it comes to tackling these security concerns. And of course, what we've been hearing from the White House for several weeks now, and from the US president himself, is the ramping up of concern around the protection of Nigeria's Christian community against extremist attacks. And it's important to note and underscore that, of course, Nigeria does have a deep-rooted history of security troubles when it comes to Islamist extremist groups. But these attacks that we have seen in the past have targeted both Nigeria's Christian and Muslim communities, two of the largest religious communities in the country. So this is certainly a historic concern within the country, but we are now seeing very clearly that first-hand action by the US military in Nigeria, according to officials, in coordination with the Nigerian government.
Nada, thank you so much. Much more detail to learn here for sure. Appreciate it.
And the president warning, of course, there could be more to come in Nigeria, writing on Truth Social to the, quote, dead terrorists, warning there will be, in his words, many more if the slaughter of Christians continues. Joining me now in the group chat, Seung-Min Kim, CNN political analyst and White House reporter at the Associated Press, Ashley Davis, former George W. Bush White House official, and Eugene Scott, contributing columnist at the Boston Globe and visiting fellow at the Johns Hopkins University Agora Institute. It's nice to see all of you this morning. Seung-Min, when we look at where things stand, the fact that the president really has cast himself as this peacemaker, often talks about the wars that he says that he has ended, and yet we are seeing this approach not just in Nigeria, but in other pockets around the world. How do we square what we hear from the president and what we see on the ground?
Well, how the administration squares it is that this is all part of President Trump's strategy, his foreign policy doctrine of peace through strength, obviously. However, you have, on the one hand, you have, him touting all the conflicts that he has helped resolve abroad, but then you see a lot of offensive military action abroad. And, his aides don't see that necessarily as a contradiction. They say that part of keeping broader peace is making sure that these targets abroad know that the U.S. is willing to strike if necessary. But I also think that this is a contradiction that you're going to be hearing on Capitol Hill, particularly as it relates to these strikes and the strikes that we've been seeing elsewhere in the country. You had the Pentagon saying yesterday that they did this in coordination with Nigeria's government. However, you're already starting to hear from Capitol Hill. What about coordination with us? Is this something that lawmakers should have authorized? And I think that tension, that conflict, is also what we're going to be hearing in the next coming weeks.
Yeah, one would anticipate that, especially we'll likely hear a little bit of it today, but certainly once lawmakers return from their recess. It's also interesting, the president this is not the first time he has called out what he says are targeted attacks on Christians. It's important to note the country itself is about split between Christian and Muslim faith, and the data doesn't necessarily support the president's claim that Christians are being disproportionately targeted. Ashley, this has been, though religious persecution has been a really animating subject matter, if you will, for many conservatives. Does it matter to them that the data doesn't line up? Because that is a significant issue.
Well, good morning, Erica. Nice to see you, and hope everyone had a great Christmas. But I think that it's really important that we need to realize that there's two things. One, that we did coordinate with the government of Nigeria, and two, Nigeria is a really complicated country that we've been dealing with. I mean, I'm a national security hawk, go back to George Bush administration. There's been terrorists breeding in that region for a long time. What I just learned this morning was the fact that we coordinated, which makes it less complicated than before. But I'm very happy that the administration is actually striking in abroad rather than them coming and striking us in our country. In regards to the Christian and Muslim controversies, I mean, we don't know what we don't know. It's so complicated. There's a lot of national security complications that are overlaid between the two groups that the ISIS and terrorist groups are hiding behind the Muslim religion. And so I think that we need to be very cautious that this is, including with the president, that this is a religious attack.
Yeah, caution definitely advised. I will just say, just based on our reporting, the data does not support the claims that Christians are being disproportionately targeted. To your point, there are a number of disputes internally. It's not just religious, it's communal, it has to do with ethnic tensions, farmer-herder disputes. There's a lot happening in Nigeria specifically. When we look at Eugene, when we look at the way that this is playing out, well, we're also looking at new movement off the coast of Venezuela. What does this tell you about the focus moving forward when it comes to not just where the U.S. is leaning in internationally, but what it could mean in terms of support domestically when there are these questions continually raised about Congress and even notifications?
Well, that is one of the main questions many lawmakers have, including some on the right. There seems to not be some consistency in terms of vision. If there is a foreign policy agenda, which obviously there is, it hasn't been communicated in a way that it's clearly understood and supported with even some of the people in
Every Nigerian should be happy, and I'm sure that every Nigerian are happy, except the Caliphate that are not happy. But tell them that more will come. Enough of all this nonsense. For a very long time, they have held Nigeria down with wicked governmental policies against the rest of Nigeria. They have pulled Nigeria down by using Fulani herdsmen to kill Nigerians and take over their ancestral lands by force. Enough is enough. Thank God that U.S. are waking up from their slumber to know that they are the police of the world. If the Nigerian government wants it or not, they will come. They will take away terrorists. Tell the Northwest that more will come. Tell the Northeast that more will come. The North Central, more will come. Northwest, even the Southwest and the Southeast and South-South, America will come there to uproot every terrorist. Enough is enough. Time for total liberation has come. Nigeria shall be free, and free indeed. Biafra shall be a separate nation. You do the way we go their way, and the North can go and form the Islamic Republic. Nobody's against it, but let them leave us out of all those equations. Thank you.